All right, welcome back, class. This is continuation of 5.4. We're factoring and solving polynomials. We left off, so I simply discussed factoring. We went over grouping. I discussed an example on box method if you simply forgot. Today I'm going to show you the third one, which is called sum of cubes or difference of cubes. And again, you already know how to do GCF. Well, you should know how to do it. If you don't, then you could ask me tomorrow in class. All right, let's get started. So, sum of cubes or difference of cubes, they're cube formulas, okay? How do you know whether you have to do a cube formula? Well, it needs to have a degree of 3. So, cube means three sides, okay? Well, not 3 sides, sorry. Just cubic, the name for degree 3 is called cubic. That's where they got the cubes from, okay? So let's go ahead and do the first one. It's a sum of cube. If you look at the addition power, it goes addition, then subtraction, then addition. Okay? But similar to the sum of squares, okay, you have to change everything into a degree of 3. Okay? So the x is already done for you, but the 8. So you ask yourself, is there a number out there when you multiply it 3 times now? 3 times gives you 8. And the answer is yes, that's 2 cubed. So we're going to change this into x cubed plus 2 cubed. Okay. So now we know x is equal to x, 2 is equal to y, and now we just plug it into the formula. Okay. All right. X is x, y in our case is 2. Okay. X squared is x squared. X times y, that's 2 times x, and it has to be negative. Again, all I'm doing is simply following the formula. And then y squared, in our case, is 2 squared, which is actually 2 squared is equal to 4. Sorry. Okay. And that's how you use a sum of cube. Okay. We're done. So again, how do you know when you're doing your homework whether you're going to do sum of cubes or difference of cubes? Again, you're looking for 2 terms, and both of them need to be in cubic. You need to have a degree of 3, or a cubic function. Okay. All right, difference of cubes, since it's simply just changing the minus, I'm actually going to leave that one up to you. Okay. Go ahead and try it, and if you get stuck, then you ask me tomorrow in class. Okay. All right, let's continue. All right, zero product property. We already learned this when we talked about quadratics. Okay, zero product property simply means if you're multiplying 2 terms, okay, or 3 terms, one of them has to be equal to 0. If that's what it's telling you, okay. If you're multiplying 2 things that is equal to 0, one of them has to be equal to 0. So zero product property simply means I can actually separate this to equal 0. That's what the zero product property means. So what does x have to be in order for this to be 0? What does x have to be here in order for this to be 0? So let's go ahead and solve this. Subtract 1 to both sides. 2x is equal to -1, divided by 2. X is equal to -1/2. Okay? Or x is equal to -1/2. All right, on this side, I just have to add 4 to both sides. And I've isolated x, so x is equal to 4. This right here is a refresher of zero product property. We're definitely going to have to use this when we're actually solving polynomials, okay? And we're solving them by factoring. Okay? That's what the title said. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and get into some examples then. All right, I'm going to go ahead and solve. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start with number 1. Okay. Before I get there, okay, I'm going to go ahead and list the 4 methods that you have to keep in the back of your head and do process of elimination. First one, First one is box method. Okay. Again, if you could factor it using box method, go ahead and do box method. If not, do number 2. Greatest common factor, also known as GCF. Okay. Third one, grouping. This is what I just covered in part number 1 of 5.4. Okay. So you should know how to do box method. I actually did an example using box method as a refresher. GCF, we did GCF, okay, when we factored out a common monomial, that's known as GCF. When you're factoring out a number or a term, okay? Grouping, you group them in pairs, okay? Look back at the video from part 1. The last one, cubic formulas, is the one I just went over on the previous slide. Okay? So you want to do process of elimination. You look at this example and we want to go through it. Okay? So can we use box method? And the answer is no, because we need a first term and we need a last term. But this is not a last term. A last term is simply a number. So we can't do box method. Okay? Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm done with box method. It just means that my first step is not box method. GCF. If you look at it very closely, it is GCF, okay? They have an X in common, so that's what I'm gonna factor out. And after I factor out, I'm actually gonna use the box method. So I'm doing a combination of 2, okay? All right, so these are the methods that you wanna remember in the back of your head, okay? If you forget them, well, copy them down. I'm constantly gonna be reminding you, okay? All right, so first method, GCF, let's take out an X. If you take out an X, we're left with X squared minus 7X plus 10. Okay. All I did was take out an X from here. X times X squared is X cubed. X times negative 7X is negative 7X squared. X times 10 is 10X. Okay. Now, how do I solve this? Okay. You can use mental math if you're good at it already, or you can use the box method. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the box method. Create yourself a box. Bring down the first term. Bring down the last term. Remember that our goal when we cross multiply our check, we want to get negative 7x. So that's our goal. If you don't get negative 7x, then you have to erase these two and go ahead and try again. Okay? Remember, our factors go this way. Okay? So think about it. How do you get x squared? X times x. List all the possible factors of 10. So 1 times 10, negative 1 times negative 10. Okay. Go down the list. 2 times 5. Sorry. Or negative 2 times negative 5. Okay. 3 doesn't go into 10, 4 doesn't go into 10, 5 goes into 10. Okay? So how do you know you have all the possible factors? If you were to go in order, starting with 1, then you go to 2, then 3, then 4. You know 3 and 4 are not part of the factors of 10, but 5 is. Since 5 is already on the list, that means that you're done. These are all the possible factors of 10. So I think that's a cool trick. If you didn't know that, well, there you go. All right, so we need to get a negative 7x. So therefore, we cannot use the positives, because positive plus a positive is still a positive. We have to use negative times a negative, okay? Or negative minus a negative, sorry. So negative 2, negative 5. All right, cross multiply, negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7x. So we found out our factors. Okay? So if you look back at the directions, okay, it says factor the polynomial completely, so we're done. Okay? Don't forget about the x. Okay? this x I took out from the original up here. Okay, if you look up here, don't forget this x. Most students always forget about this x. They simply just write these answers. But again, it's a cubic, so you need to see 3 x's. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to write x minus 2, x minus 5. So 1, 2, 3 gives you 3 x's. And I just factored it out. Okay? All right. You'll definitely have more practice of that on your homework. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and do one more, and then I'll let you go ahead and try the other 2 for homework. Okay? Let's go ahead and do something with a higher degree. Let's go ahead and do number 3. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and do it right here in the middle. Just let me copy it down. All right. So now we want to go through the list. So we want to do box method. Okay. We want to do grouping, but before grouping is GCF, grouping, then cubic formulas. Okay. So box method, again, we don't have a first term or a last term. So again, we can do box method. GCF, do they have something in common? And the answer is yes. Okay. What do they have in common? If you look at it closely, 4 they have in common, and they actually have x in common. Okay. Okay. So if you take out a 4, and if I take out an x, therefore, I'm left with x cubed. And 4 times what gives me negative 108? That's negative 27. And then x is already there. So I just factored out 4x, and I got x cubed minus 27. Okay, good. We're still not done. Okay, I see a cubic. Right away, my head says try cubic formulas. And that's the case. Because you look at this term, is there a number out there where you multiply it 3 times to give you 27? The answer is yes. 3 times 3 times 3 gives you 27. So let's change this. Okay. And now, okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the cubic formulas for this. Okay? Don't forget about the 4x. Always bring it down. So we have 4x. Okay. If you don't know the cubic formula, just go back on the slides. Okay? Since we did a difference of cube, this is x minus 3 okay, times x squared plus x times y, which is 3x, plus 3 squared, which is 9. Okay. All right, and I'm done. Okay. From here, these 2 parentheses, where did this come from? It came from the difference of cubes. Again, if you don't remember what the formula is, I don't want you to memorize it. Just go back to the slide, and you'll see that this is where I got it from. Okay. If you don't remember, here it is. It says x cubed minus y cubed is equal to x minus y okay, times x squared plus xy plus y squared. Okay. That's exactly where I got these 2 parentheses from. Okay. All right. So that's a good place to stop. I want you to do problems 2 and 4. Let me put them back up so you know what they are. So I just finished number 1 for you. I did number 3 for you. Go ahead and try 2 and 4. If you have trouble, well, ask me tomorrow in class. Okay? All right, see you guys.